Okay, so the big day has arrived. The boat is going in the water in about half an hour at 3 p.m. High tide's 4 p.m. So we've got a bit of time when it's down there just to get it sorted and go from there. Now, I've got to be honest, I am rather nervous, and I know Jackie is as well. So we'll just see how it goes. We are just about to inflate the dinghy because we're going to tow that for when we get to the other end, and we've got the jackery to do that as well. As you can see, the weather is absolutely glorious today, and just finishing off a few bits and bobs on the boat, we were building up a sweat. We're just simply unaccustomed to it. Relatively light winds today. We've just felt it change from an east-southeast to a southwesterly, which was forecast. So yeah, absolutely glorious for a first day back on the water. Fingers crossed, everything stays dry inside, we don't get any leaks. And actually, I can see the crane has extended its jib. They said they were going to prepare to lift it in as we were pumping up the dinghy. If I flip the camera around, you might be able to see it. Couldn't be better. Before we get too far into the lift itself, I thought we'd have a look back at what we've achieved this winter on Scamper. Now, I hope you agree and say that Scamper for a 1980s Colvik Salty Dog 27 does look absolutely stunning now, both inside and out. So let's have a look at those winter work results. What are you doing now? Yeah. Now, let's go back to the lifting. How are you feeling, Jackie? How do you feel, Phil? I am absolutely shitting myself. I've got knots in my tummy. At this point, I decided to turn on the engine and check for the correct amount of flow through the engine cooling system, and I was happy to report that everything was working as expected. I was also very relieved to see there were no leaks after resealing the through hull for the anode. When the tide is in, Pomfret Creek, that you're looking at now, is a glorious place for a boat. Unfortunately, it does dry out and is mostly mud at low tide, and for us it was a fantastic place to keep the boat over the winter because Plymouth Marine Centre is pretty close to home. Being placed beam on to the wall meant that we had really easy access down the ladders onto Scamper, but as you may be able to see in the water, there are a few small mooring buoys around attached to mooring lines that are secured to the creek bed. Now, this meant that we had to be really careful manoeuvring Scamper because we didn't want to get any of these mooring lines around our prop, keel or rudder, and Jason was giving me directions from on top of the creek wall when to use forward and reverse, and the best way to maneuver Scamper to get out away from the creek wall to ensure that we didn't entangle ourselves on any of these lines. Now, because of the wind, it was actually rather tricky to do, but as you'll see, we did manage it eventually. Jackie, I need the boat hook.
Looking forward, Sam. Looking forward. Been true.
Yeah.
Just got this water line. That's awesome. Past that. Which you remember is it?
Oh, drop it bloody maximum on.
Oh yeah. I'll drop it in the ladder. I'll grab that.
At this point, we did end up with a mooring line just on the rudder, and Jason came down the ladder to pull the mooring line aside to allow us to continue.
Yeah.
Shortly after this, the camera decided to run out of battery and stopped recording unbeknown to us, but we did get out safely in the end into Plymouth Sound. As you can imagine, after spending the winter in the boatyard, it was absolutely fantastic to be out on the water again with Scamper, looking forward to the season ahead. You may be able to notice the high-pitched tone in the background, and this was actually a bit of a worry to us. Through some experimentation, if the revolutions of the engine were below 1800 RPM, that tone disappeared, and if they were at 2300 and above, the tone also disappeared. Some research online has led us to believe that the tone is due to some prop song, and probably as a result of me using a wire brush on the drill to clean the propeller and then coating it in some leftover anti-foul. Since the recording of this video, I have got into the water and removed most of the anti-foul from the propeller, which has helped, and the next stage of rectifying this will be filing a very small flat edge on the trailing edge of the propeller to introduce some turbulence at the trailing edge of the propeller, and therefore removing the harmonic resonance that causes the prop song. Nice little boat, isn't it? And here we are approaching our swing mooring, and you can see that Jackie has the boat hook ready to pick up the pickup buoy. Now she is directing me with the boat hook to turn more to starboard and to keep approaching the pickup buoy. Now we had wind off our port stern and a little bit of tide against us, so not the easiest approach, but as you can see, we've managed it under control, and we are still continuing to approach the mooring buoy despite the boat being in neutral. So the next stage is to give Scamper a bit of reverse just to bring us a bit further off the mooring buoy. All right. What?
At the side of us down there.
Do you want me to go backwards then?
Yeah.
I think it's just because we're on that.
That was good because it was wrapped around.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Do you want a hand? Here we are back on our swing mooring, and it was really pleasurable trip from Plymouth Marine Centre up to the River Tamar. I'd just like to thank Jason and the team at Plymouth Marine Centre for lifting us in safely and out initially, and giving us kind of help and everything like that today. And well, what a journey it is. As you can see, I'm talking to camera and Jackie is up there just giving the front of the boat a bit of a wipe off with just some seawater, because even though we came out yesterday and cleaned our bridle as best we could and the mooring buoy, it's that the ropes are still quite dirty. I mean, considering they've been out of the water all winter and been put in again, it's surprising how quickly it built up. They've been in the water for about a week. So when we lifted it onto the front of the deck, loads of brown water has gone over the nice clean decks. But anyway, we are going to have something to eat because it is almost 6 p.m. and make our way back to the sailing club, stow the dinghy. We've got it there in what they call a toast rack, and we've got a space in the engine shed as well, so for the outboard. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.